Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to first look at Arsenal and Tottenham joining PSG in three-horse transfer race for Joaquin Correa, and then we're going to look at Arsenal legend urging Gunners to raid Brighton again for superb £30 million midfielder. So the first transfer headline states that Arsenal and Tottenham joined PSG in three-horse transfer race for Joaquin Correa. So the reports are stating that the Lazio forward is reportedly being hotly pursued this summer. Premier League duo Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur have joined French giants Paris Saint-Germain in the race to sign Joaquin Correa this summer, according to reports. The Argentine forward has been tipped to leave Lazio in the current transfer window, with plenty of suitors waiting in the wings. According to Italian journalist Gianluigi Longari, PSG have initiated contact for Correa's services. The report states that the Paris outfit first engaged in talks on June the 10th, but Arsenal and Tottenham are also vying for his signature. Joaquin Correa scored 11 goals and registered 5 assists for Lazio last season, his third campaign at the club since leaving Sevilla in 2018. He particularly caught the eye in the 2020-2021 Champions League, scoring 3 goals and providing 2 assists in 8 appearances. The 26-year-old has a good relationship with manager Simone Inzaghi, who utilised him as a striker alongside Ciro Immobile in a 3-at-the-back system. However, Inzaghi's decision to replace Antonio Conte at Inter Milan could prompt Correa to depart. Considering the wealth of attacking talent Mauricio Pochettino has at his disposal at Le Parc des Princes, PSG's interest is intriguing. Arsenal and Spurs are understandable suitors though, with the Gunners' captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang misfiring this season. Meanwhile, still without a head coach after sacking Jose Mourinho in April, Spurs could have a blatant need for a striker in the coming months. Manchester City are expected to ramp up their interest in England captain Harry Kane once Euro 2020 is in the background. If Daniel Levy accepts a proposal to be worth over £150 million, Spurs will undoubtedly need to replace Harry Kane this summer. Joaquin Correa could arrive in North London and add to an already very dynamic attack at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. With the Serie A star also capable of playing on the wing, wherever the club's new boss is could utilise him and Son Heung-min as interchangeable strikers. During an Instagram livestream last year, Correa admitted his desire to play in the Premier League eventually. In what could boost Arsenal and Tottenham's transfer hopes, he is a fan of the country's football and revealed his intentions to improve his English. "I love to play in the Premier League," Correa admitted to his viewers. "Right now I'm concentrating on Lazio, but I enjoy the English league too. I would want to improve my English and I will do that." So it looks like Arsenal and Tottenham joined PSG in three-horse transfer race for Joaquin Correa, and it looks like the Gunners are still looking for forwards in the summer transfer window, and Joaquin Correa is another player that could be an Aubameyang alternative or an Alexandre Lacazette replacement, as Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah's futures are very uncertain as they only have 1 year left on their contract, and Mikel Arteta states that he will need to sell before he signs a player like Joaquin Correa because he wants to prioritise other signings initially. And Joaquin Correa could be a future Arsenal player, but there's a huge possibility that he will be in North London next season. So this nicely takes us on to the second piece of transfer news, which states that Arsenal legend urges Gunners to raid Brighton again for superb £30 million midfielder. So the reports are stating that the Gunners could end up spending as much as £80 million on Brighton players this summer if they take their advice. Former Arsenal midfielder Ray Parlour has tipped his former side to pull off a double raid on Brighton this summer after making his admiration known for Yves Bissouma. The Gunners are already on the verge of pulling off the £50 million transfer of the Seagulls' England international defender Ben White. Yves Bissouma was one of the stars of Brighton's season in the Premier League, putting in a string of impressive showings at the hearts of Albion's midfield. His performances haven't gone untouched, with a number of the Premier League's biggest sides linked with a summer move for him. And although Tottenham Hotspur have been repeatedly rumoured as a suitor, it has also appeared to be in the driving seat, and Ray Parlour has urged the club to go out and get him. Yves Bissouma will be superb, Ray Parlour told TalkSport. "I think he is efficient, he has got lots of energy, good on the ball, he's young enough for us to get 4 years out of him." Indeed, 4 years may be a conservative estimate from the former gunner, with the Mali international still 2 months away from his 25th birthday. If Yves Bissouma progressed in the way that his performances this season suggest he might, a best case scenario would see him inject athleticism into the Arsenal midfield for at least half of that time again. The exciting thing for Yves is he can still improve some more. He's not at the top, enthused Brighton manager Graham Potter in the final weeks of last season. Like any player, we have to be honest and also sensible enough to know that if a player is good enough to play at the level and has the opportunity, then we shouldn't be afraid of that. We shouldn't be scared of that. A move for Yves Bissouma would make it a double raid for Brighton for the Gunners, who look set to snare centre-back Ben White in a reported £50 million bid. The 23-year-old England international is currently away with the national side at Euro 2020, but also believe they are close to agreeing a deal with his club. While Brighton are reluctant to let their best players leave, Chief Executive Paul Barber admitted that selling for high fees is part of the business model. We know some of our best players aren't going to be with us forever, and if the right offer comes along, and it has to be the right offer, and they want to leave, then they can go, he said. If we've got players leaving, then we've got backup internally, and we can go out in the transfer market. We're always looking ahead. So it looks like Arsenal legend urges Gunners to raid Brighton again for superb £30 million midfielder. And Yves Bissouma right now is a priority target for the Gunners, but there are a few players that are ahead of Yves Bissouma in terms of their priority. And initially we're looking at Eduardo Camavinga. It looks like Mikel Arteta is a huge fan of the youngster, and then they were going to go for Yves Bissouma if that move doesn't pan out, or they might even go for both the two midfielders, as a massive overhaul in that midfield is really needed. There are already some outings like the likes of Granit Xhaka, Lucas Torreira, Joe Willock, Maitland-Niles, just a few names that look very likely to leave the Gunners, so a new massive overhaul in that midfield is required, and Yves Bissouma could be an ideal signing for the Gunners, as he's an Arsenal fan. He will put 110% in every single match, so Yves Bissouma for me, like Ray Parlow urges, is a good signing. So we will have to wait and see how Arsenal will use the summer transfer window in the end. Make sure you check out the FA Cup poster using the special link I have put below in the description, and smash that like button to see if you can reach 20 likes. Also, subscribe for more daily Arsenal news videos and click one of the latest videos on the screen, and I'll see you there.